Alright, hello everyone. I am here in Standard, testing out the kind of new variant of the build. Um, so, I haven't put a massive amount of time and effort into it, but this should be enough to get you going. I've stuck with Constricting Command because I haven't looked at other unique helmets, and I don't, like, a rare would also be fine, but again, the damage is the important bit from here, and the damage we can keep. Uh, Switch to Cine Aequo. This thing is insane. It's better than I thought it would be. Switched to a random Warrior Invictus I had around, divined at one time. Also, yeah, divine one of these to get the newer modifier on standard. These are not the runes that I would use either. Oh, hello. Sorry, there is a baby Currawong staring at me through my window, sitting on my windowsill. How you doing? What's going on? You're a bit wet and sad looking. Anyway, um, so yeah, so that switch that. This is a very not a. This is not like the perfect um, set of modifiers, but I'll go over those in a second. In terms of the passive tree, I've switched to Sorcery Ward to test it out. This feels really good. The damage is not really lost that much. I think it's fine. The tree around here is very similar. They haven't changed much. Most of the changes happened around the Druid side, so that's fine. I've taken away this because this is not going to be usable when it's helpful. And I've also added in Paranoia for the surrounded area effect, which you didn't need before, but now that you need a minimum of one enemy, you do need to do this for convenience sake. I've dropped some of the evasion and deflection stuff. In fact, I should actually probably drop more of the evasion deflection stuff. I'm going to keep the evasion rating while moving, because evasion rating is nice to have. And I am still using Wind Dancer as well. This might not be the best option, but I haven't put a massive amount of thought into it just yet, because I do want to actually start playing the new league. Um, so, like, other options could be, I don't know. I don't know what's the play. I don't think there's anything particularly new that is going to be good. Like Bark Skin is not helpful because we're not doing Energy Shield. You could run Overwhelming Presence again if you want. Overwhelming Presence is good, but it's not actually that good considering how much freeze we have now. The buffs feel really good. Yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly like that's that much better. So yeah, I just stick with Wind Dancer for now. So the amount of armor and evasion is a lot lower, as you can see. It will be higher in combat because I have a bunch of when you hit an enemy, you get more armor and evasion. Anyway, I picked up all the armor and evasion nodes here. This one is just a little bit of extra armor. This one's more evasion rating. This is not fantastic for Sinner Equo because it doesn't have that much of that, but that's alright. But you can see the life and ES is very solid. And yeah, these numbers are still fine. I was a little bit worried about survivability, but in combat this is about 3,000 Sorcery Ward. And because you get hit so infrequently, and because with Sinner Equo, enemies are frozen if you so much as breathe in their direction. This, you basically never get hit, and when you do, you don't get hit to your life pool, you get hit to the Sorcery Ward pool. This is as good as I thought it would be. This is insanely strong for defenses. Everything else is just the same that I had lying around. I had to take away one of my nice movement speed things because obviously it doesn't work anymore. You probably wouldn't make one of these because again, this modifier is now 60%, not 100%. This is a legacy item. And I've got very good gear still because I haven't got worse gear to put on for the sake of demonstration. In terms of what you want on Warrior Invictus, there's a few options. So you probably want global defenses because this is great. I have all res because I don't have the gear to switch around to test out other ones. So all res is good, chaos res is good, life is good, spirit is good. This could mean you don't need one of the spirit modifiers on the amulet, so this can save you a lot of gearing. But yeah, any of those are good. And yeah, those are the main changes, these two items. There's very few changes to the passive tree. Actually, I think I should swap this around. Move this to here, because it's going to get more modifiers in range. Now that these are here, so that's going to be better in that slot. That's the against the darkness that gives damages extra cold, because now there's far more modifiers here. Then in here, haven't switched off these. These are all still very good. Unhindered is now not very good, so I would not anoint this. I would anoint some damage. I would anoint probably, where is it? This node here, Primal Sundering, or something else damage related. I haven't done a huge look into Druid area nodes, but I don't think they're super good unless there's some crazy cold stuff that they've added. Nothing crazy there. Nothing crazy there. No. This is well shapeshifted. Okay, so there's nothing insanely good in the Druid area for us. So yeah, the tree is going to be actually quite similar, thankfully, to what it was before. Now, changes to the gems. So I said that Plasma Blast is going to be worse and have a 26% guaranteed shock as opposed to a 40%. I cannot tell you why, probably because of the large amount of base damage it does, but I'm hitting for 40% shock still, even with the nerf to this. So, cool, like, you know, we take those. Emergency Reload buff feels good, Shard Scavenger buff feels good. On Sorcery Ward, I have a Fire Mastery. Any Elemental Mastery will add an extra level to this. That's the only thing it can be supported by. The best thing to put on this is one of the Uthrid ones, the one that gives it +3 to levels if there's nothing else in the sockets, which I don't have one of those, but that will be the best. That will give you even more barrier recharge, and I realize now that I haven't qualityed it either, so we're getting less than what I should do. Let me do that real quick. Oh, you can't actually quality it there, that's true. I'm an idiot. Yes, you cannot quality this sort of stuff. It gets quality from other things. Anyway. So yeah, that thing feels very strong. What else have I done in gems? I've swapped Overreach for Magnified Area 2. This is just 5% better AoE compared to Overreach now that it doesn't have its reduced damage thing. So that's good. And then I've also swapped Fork, because now Fork doesn't work now that it pierces, because Fork only happens after all the pierces are done. This has now 5 pierces by default. So I've put Projectile Acceleration 3 in here, because it has built-in increased projectile speed now. And look at how far this reaches. For context, before it probably reached from me to Ange. Now it reaches more than double that distance. It reaches off the screen, and it pierces through enemies to hit it. Because of Sinner Aoquo and the buff to this Permafrost bolts, making it so that chill buildup also contributes to freeze buildup. It's so strong, like that. It's massive buff. It's even better than I thought it would be. I'll show you in a I'll do a Twisted Domain. I've been running that. The damage against single target feels slightly worse for the shattering hit, and I don't know why that is. I've yet to figure that out. I can't actually tell you what's causing that. It might be a bug. It's still fine, because, again, my version of this build doesn't go all in on the shattering hit. It does a lot of damage to the things behind it, with subsequent hits, which is why Uruk Smelting's buff feels really good as well. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So, what I would probably do also is maybe drop this regen here, but this is giving me extra cold damage now. I'm just going to go into one of these to show you how much better the clear feels. Like, the clear was already good. This is probably not the best example, but it has a boss at the end, so I can show you both sort of aspects. But as you can see, you sneeze in an enemy's direction and they get frozen because of Sinner Aircore and the buff to freeze generation. Like, it is so much better. And I believe this actually helps with proliferation by making the Witchhunter ascendancy explosions more likely to freeze, which causes Herald proliferation. I could be wrong about that, but that's what it feels like. So yeah, this is like the build is in a good spot basically. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. I'll let you know also later if I find out any crazy new things, but I will be playing a druid for the build that I'll be making. But yeah, it's very, very comfy now. The range at which you can clear is significantly better. Again, you still want to be close to enemies to shotgun, but you don't need to shotgun with this anymore because of how quickly it applies freeze. The Sinner Aircore buff is insanely strong. And yes, as you can see, I'm getting small hits to my sorcery ward from enemies getting through, but my health has not moved a single time. Literally not once. So I don't know, this just feels... This is already a build that I was really into when I made it, and it feels better than it did before. Any crazy drops? Yeah, I haven't even updated my filter or anything. So, I'm a little bit rusty with the rotation, but that's alright. Now, I hope he doesn't do the hand attack first. Oh, this is the other bad attack, because this means I have to wait a second, because this happens. So as you can see, I don't know why, but the initial hit doesn't seem to be doing that much damage. If anyone can, like, tell me why this is, I would love to know. Part of it might be the auto-targeting. It feels worse with the increased... this is the worst Xesht I've done. So I wouldn't have been able to tank one of those before this. So that was the worst Xesht I've ever done. I think the problem might actually just be the auto-targeting. Because this now has 50% increased projectile speed, the auto-targeting problems feel worse than they did before. I really hope GGG adds an option to not auto-target, but the way to get around that is to kind of put your cursor close to your character and not name lock onto the enemy that you're attacking. I also believe I forgot to press emergency reload, so that was basically the worst the worst ever demonstration, but that's okay. It did at least show that sorcery ward is good, because it made me survive when I shouldn't have. Like, with the previous iteration of this build, I would have died there. Now I don't, because sorcery ward is busted. For anyone who hasn't seen the previous video where I spoke about these potential changes, the reason it's busted is because this node makes it apply to everything. Of course, it's just from hits, but still. This makes it apply to all damage types. So this is just straight up a second life pool, basically. And I don't really feel the loss from concentration, because this was kind of mostly important for clearing, surprisingly, because you would hit enemies with the big hit on bosses before their concentration was broken. So this was mostly a thing for clearing, which made it a bit easier. But now with Sinner Aircore, I don't think it matters that much. So yeah, that's kind of what's happened now. I don't know what new crafting options the new league is going to bring, the new mechanic. That's kind of, I guess, will be revealed in time, but I'll inform you of what things have changed if they do. But yeah, it's very similar setup. You might be able to get something better. It might not be worth running these anymore, because God, these numbers are so bad. But this thing's actually quite strong for damage. And this is probably, yeah, these are probably still worth it. I would maybe drop these, put them into, like, not the low life one. I don't think these armor evasion nodes are very good. So I would probably avoid them. I think they're quite terrible, actually. I'd maybe put it into, maybe grab this reload node for clear. If you want a path over here, actually, that might be pretty good as well. That actually might be worth it. What? Sorry, the Currawong's back. What are you doing? I love these funny little guys. What are you doing? They're so wet and sad. It's been raining outside. Yeah, I might actually do that, because deflection rating is now not, like, look, the chance to deflect is shocking, right? Because I'm now stacking less evasion. So I'd probably do this, and then just do this to get more sorcery ward. And yeah, that's the changes so far. Feel free to use this as a jumping off point to do your own changes, because I think that there's more interesting stuff to work with, but I do believe that Moria Invictus and Sinner Aequo are the ways to go. You could do without Moria Invictus. I just really like this item, and I think global defenses is a good modifier. Like 40% global defenses up to 48% is very strong. But this is definitely absolute best in slot. There is nothing that is going to be better than this, unless there's some crazy gloves that were added. But yeah, I hope you have a good experience with this build. I think its early league is better, and I actually think its late game is better as well. I was a little bit tentative about that one. But it feels great. So yeah, let me know how it goes. Let me know if there's any changes you want me to make. I assure you that your boss kills will probably look better than that one, because God, that was shocking. So bad. I missed all my shots. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Probably whatever, like a build sort of overview of whatever I decide to do on Shaman.